My name is Carlos Urroz. I'm the director of ARCO Madrid, the art fair in Madrid. Since 2011, I've been working at the fair for 6 years now. ARCO Madrid is a fair that has been going on for 35 years. It's a general fair that has from secondary market to younger artists, but our strongest point is probably this discovery fair, these emerging artists represented by leading galleries that are every year at the fair, and at the same time this mixture of intellectual, we have very strong curators program together with the market. So there's a lot of information going on during ARCO, during the talks, during the professional meetings, which is interesting also how it might affect the market. Basically, the role of the director is to create the guidelines of the fair, what contents, what kind of talks, what kind of program will happen at the same time, also dealing with the galleries, the sponsors, and bringing the best collectors, the potential buyers, creating new collectors and new buyers. So basically that's what we do during the fair and the whole year round. I think we have a kind of bias. I think we're more, as I said, it's more a discovery fair. It's for the first presentation of a young artist or maybe an old artist that has been underrepresented until now. My advice for galleries that want to apply to ARCO is to look to the contents of the fair and make sure they bring something new. It's not about bringing in artists which is already represented by galleries at the fair. It's about adding new contents, either it's historical or emerging or a niche that a geographical niche that we don't have. So in that sense, that can make sense. And I would encourage all the galleries to take a look to what already exists at the fair and say, okay, I'm proposing this, which is something new that you don't have. It's a great quality and it will be good for the contents of the fair. ARCO is far away, has always been far away because it's organized in the Madrid fairgrounds, which are very well prepared for everything, from doing the booths to delivering the merchandise, the works, parking facilities. So in that sense, we've always been a bit outside from the city center. I think that's good for the fair because people that go there have a one-day experience or two-day experiences. They take their time once you get there, and it's a big fair. There are lots of things to see. So in that sense, I think people, once they get to ARCO, they want to stay in ARCO. ARCO is one of the leading contemporary art events in this Madrid calendar, if not the leading contemporary art event in Madrid calendar. So the people, of course, they can go elsewhere. They can go to Reina Sofia, to the museums, to the galleries, but they want to be at ARCO. They want to see the contents of the fair. They want to discover the artists. They want to shake hands with the curators, with the foreign collectors that are there. So it's more interesting during the ARCO week to be at ARCO than probably to be in Madrid. Well, basically, what we try to circulate all our information to make sure that everybody knows our dates and that we know the dates of the other fairs that might be nearby, from Armory to Mako to other events happening in the arts field nearby, to make sure that everybody can make both, can come to Madrid and can do other contemporary art events. So communication is the key in order to avoid this clash of dates. On the other hand, there's so many things happening that it's normal that maybe we're at the same time as other events. The important thing is not to be at the same time as other major events. I think you're talking about when ARCO was created 35 years ago, the art crowd was very small. Nowadays, there are art collectors, potential art collectors in every city, people interested in art. At 35 years ago, there were really, really very few people interested in contemporary art that could attend an event like this. No, I think it has to make sense for a gallery to be at ARCO. ARCO, as I said, is a discovery fair and where people are going for new artists. So I don't think it should work if a blue chip gallery is going to bring second-class artworks by the leading artists. So for us, it's better if a blue chip gallery comes with their newest artists in the program rather than with the main names with a smaller scale works. I think if it works for blue chip galleries is when they have a plan, when they have plan to link with institutions that will be there, museum directors. Of course, they're super welcome, but it has to make sense what they present. If they're going to present works that cost 4 million euros, probably ARCO is not the place. But if they're bringing their emerging artists, they want to link with curators and they want to place them in museum shows, then it makes sense. I think the Lisbon galleries wanted to have an art fair, professional art fair organized by professionals, and we had been discussing this for 5 years almost. The thing is, because there was the crisis, it made no sense, and when the crisis was stopping, they said, okay, now is the time to do it. For us, it's very natural to do something in Portugal. We have the support of the galleries, the support of the collectors, and the institutions. The city was happy when we mentioned that we are considering to do ARCO in Lisboa. Lisboa is a vibrant city. I think that has an amazing cultural life, interesting artists, interesting galleries, museums, institutions. And right now, I think it's developing. I think it's one of the cities in Europe with more potential to grow. That it's getting a lot of interest from people, not only from Central Europe, but also from Brazil, from Angola, that suddenly find in Lisbon, in Portugal, a nice place to have a secondary residency. I think for every art fair has to be different to each other. The more different we are, the better. I think people travel to experience the city, to find new contents. When people come to Madrid, they're very interested in Spanish art, in Latin American art. So when people will go to Lisbon, they'll be interested in Portuguese, Brazilian art, eventually art from African, Portuguese-speaking countries. So that would be the contents. And also, I think it's very important, the experience of the city. You don't want to go to a city where you cannot walk around, where you have to go in a van from one place to another. The nice thing about Portugal, about Lisbon, about Madrid, is that there are cities that you can also discover. We do a whole program that involves the city, the museums, the galleries, private collections, historical sites, so that people, when they come to Madrid, of course they spend a couple of days at ARCO, but then they have the mornings and the afternoons to see the city, and when they come to Lisbon, the same thing, and they discover wonderful cities that lots of people are not that acquainted with. Fairs are getting more and more important for the galleries, for the general public. The general public adores coming to fairs, and that makes collectors to this networking moment, this moment of shaking hands with other colleagues. It's super important for them. So they're getting more and more important. I think we have to also be different in order to have this feeling that you're attending a different fair, and you're in a different city with a different VIP room, with a different crowd, with different, with a different experience. I mean, it has nothing to do. I mean, art is very serious. I mean, artists really suffer creating their works, and they deal with super important issues, transcendental, most of them, about life, about how feelings, about politics, about super important things. It's true that the art fairs talk about the art market, and the art market requires some glam and some kind of events that can seem to be entertainment, but that's the art market. That's the art fairs. That's the openings. That's cocktails. But art is super serious. Art collecting instead has to be something joyful, so that leads to entertainment. But the art, respecting the artist's creation, it's super important, super serious. For us, I think that in order to admire an artist, you have to see it live. I mean, you have to have the experience of the work of art. You have to feel it, to see how touching, how emotional it is sometimes. I think online sales are an addition to the physical experience of an art piece, and suddenly, you can browse the internet in order to see which galleries are working with that artist, or you can talk to other other galleries. But I really think that art pieces need life experience in order to create this emotion they're supposed to create. Well, I think that we should keep with our everyday life despite all these problems that you mentioned, and that traveling is key in a global world right now. And I think that we all travel to different cities to see different events. I'll be in Sao Paulo a month from now, and I think that's something I had to cope with, and I understand some people don't want to travel, but there'll be new people that would like to travel, that would like to come to Madrid and would like to go to the Sao Paulo Biennial. And in that sense, I think we should encourage people not to be afraid. Fairs are super safe places, they have excellent security measures, and to encourage them to come and visit our fairs.